Alrighty guys, welcome back to the Art of Racing, and we are here to start our first ever YouTube series.
And there was much rejoicing.
Yes, that's right, we're going to be playing some more Motorsport Manager today. We're going to be starting a brand new series. This one's going to be just for YouTube. There's going to be a separate playthrough that's going to be for the live streams on Twitch, but this one's going to be just for YouTube. It'll be one race per episode, so the race and all the stuff in between before the next race. I'm not certain about the scheduling yet as far as how often they're going to go up, but I'm really looking forward to this. We're going to try get a little bit more content going up, and so I can get a little more experience with the game. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on in to the first episode. Alrighty, so here we are back in Motorsport Manager again, guys. Had a lot of fun on the stream the other day. Learned a whole bunch because I really never played the PC version of this game before at all. So we're going to go ahead and hop into a new career here. I have played a little bit offline. Actually, go back. I did play a little bit offline just doing some of the challenges. I got bought the Challenge Pack DLC and unlocked finished a couple of challenges. Mostly so we could finish Ernie's Paradise and unlock the Motorsport Legend player backstory to start with. This was a bitch. It took me a while. Actually, a couple of these challenges, because some of them are like single races, but like this one is 16 races. Some of the other ones are 5, 10, 12 races. Basically, you have to do a whole season. Ernie's Paradise in particular. Does it say here? No, it doesn't say exactly what's involved in it for right here, but yeah, basically you have to win the team's championship over a full season with reverse championship point grid, so the better you do, the further back you start. It's got the full ERS and Ernie's Paradise. Fucking Eccleston. It's got race sprinklers that go off like every race randomly at some point. It's a whole pain in the ass. That took me a while and a bunch of tries to get through, actually, but I really wanted to unlock the Motorsport Legend backstory. And because I am not Jimmy Broadbent, I am not going to make you guys watch the 6 or 7 attempts it took me to get through that season, because it was a bitch. But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and hop into a new season here. We're going to do, don't need the tutorials on, we're going to do medium length sessions instead of the short. So hopefully it'll give a little bit more time for strategy and stuff during the races. We're also going to be using, I've actually got 2 mods installed. Only one of them is through Steam, so it only shows one here. One is the better progression. It basically just increases the improvement rates a little bit for drivers and staff and buildings and stuff like that, so that it's not quite so negligible. So like there's some noticeable improvement. There's also like a ×10 version, but I thought that was way too much. ×3 seems to be about right for kind of noticeable improvement, but not being unbalanced or overpowered. The other one that we have installed, which again doesn't show up here, but you'll see it once we get in there, is well, it does a couple things. Number one, it includes the perfect setup mod, because honestly, I really don't enjoy that part of the game. I don't mind the practice sessions and everything, doing the race knowledge and trying to, decide on a strategy and stuff like that. But the actual setting up of the car in this is just not really enjoyable to me. So there's a mod that just kind of gets rid of it, which is really nice. But it also includes a couple other things that, again, not listed here, but you'll see once we get into the race. It has for each driver an auto drive and an auto pit feature, which I don't really plan on using too much, but they are included. But more importantly, the reason I like it is it has it does a little bit, it makes a few changes to the camera, so that we can zoom all the way into the cars. So we can zoom out a little bit further, but we can actually zoom in and kind of get a chase cam behind the cars if you want to watch a race going on. And I think it actually does a little bit as well with some higher res liveries and things like that. So that's kind of nice. But the auto stuff I really don't plan on using. The auto pit I'm never going to use, because again, that's just, it basically plays the game for you. The auto drive I don't really plan on using too much, but every now and again I might turn it on for 1 or 2 of the drivers, because that kind of makes sense to me in a certain way. I wish there was a way you could separate the tires and the driving style and the engine maps, because to me, I mean, the race engineer is not constantly changing the driver's driving style and how hard they're pushing or whether they're trying to conserve the tires. A lot of that's up to the driver. I mean, the team can come over and say, hey, we need you to, hold back and conserve these tires for a while, or we need you to push for these next 2 laps. But for the most part, it's the driver doing that. Engine maps are a little bit more on the team, I guess. So, like I said, I kind of wish you could separate those, because I would be perfectly happy to let the driver basically just determine his own driving style unless I want to override it, but still have control over the engine maps. You can't separate them, so again, I don't really plan on using it too much, but to me it's somewhat realistic that, to a certain extent, again, especially seeing as I'm supposed to be the team principal, not necessarily the race engineer, it makes a certain amount of sense that if I want to, I can kind of let the drivers and the team kind of do their own thing and figure out what engine maps to use and how hard to push, but I can always override it if I wanted to. But for the most part, like I said, I don't really plan on using those. I just wanted the setup bit, and I like the camera tweaks as well. The options, you'll see there's little buttons next to each driver for auto pit and auto AI. Like I said, most of the time I believe those are just going to stay off, but they're there and I can't really get rid of them. I can't have one without the other, so if you are wondering why they're there, that's why. So we're going to go ahead and hop into the season though. Again, medium length, we'll stick with the US dollars because even when I had it on pounds, I kept saying dollars anyway, so fine. So let's hop in here. So, there we go. This is what I wanted to unlock. The Motorsport Legend backstory. As a true legend, there's no aspect of the business you haven't conquered, and now you're ready to lead a team to victory and solidify your greatness for centuries to come. Mostly, again, extra team marketability from the little bit I've played so far seems really great for custom teams, because it basically, I mean, yeah, you could do the financial one, which makes it a little bit, everything a little bit cheaper. But to me, marketability is just fantastic because your team basically sucks at the beginning, especially with a custom team. Your team is just going to be garbage. So everything you can do to attract better sponsors just means, it's less likely you're going to go bankrupt the first couple of seasons while you're trying to build a team up. So to me, this is actually, I think, worth more than the 5% discount or anything like that. This 50 team marketability, that's just straight cash, basically. That's money. I like money. And in racing, you need money, especially when we're going to be doing a custom team and starting from nothing. So if I do this, yeah, okay. It doesn't change the backstory, but I just don't care about the look so much, so I'll just randomize a bit. Sure. But, he needs to have glasses, because... Right? We'll go from the US. I probably should have decided on something first, but... Because, yeah. Hopefully we won't do worse at Williams, because we kind of started to, actually, on this stream, the save that we did on stream. I was hoping to, how bad could it be? And we kind of actually did better or worse than Williams. So we're gonna be Zach, not Williams today, and hope that maybe gets us somewhere. We're gonna do a custom team, starting at the bottom of the single-seater series, the European Racing Series. So again, spec front and rear wings, basically like an F3 car. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and hop right in to a new season here. Alright. Here we go, team racing therapy. Based out of the UK is fine. More or less gonna... I liked what we had in the last save, so mostly just gonna copy it. Real quick, and it also saves some time here. Alright, now this I kind of forgot how I did. Alright, I like this actually. there. We get the red on there. I don't know, SS black, how does that look? Kind of terrible? Yeah, it kind of does. If we do. That. Any better? What's this change? Maybe I'll do that. Ah, that's not so bad. That's kind of got like a Spider-Man-y thing going on here, though. Maybe we just darken these up a little bit. Ah, that's not so bad. Can I save these? No, I can't save it, but I can copy and paste. Okay. We'll change all this to be the same. It's too dark for the logo, actually. And probably for the uniform as well. So we'll lighten it up a little bit there. And then we'll change the reds. Yeah, the logo and the uniforms actually need to be light, a little bit lighter than the car colors, it seems like. Yeah, there we go. That's fine. I didn't realize there were different styles here. There we go. That's a little better. So yeah, I'm actually fairly happy with that. That doesn't look so bad at all. Yeah, alright, let's keep it. Alright, and then so here, we also unlocked this through the challenges, but no. Just no. I mean, it could be an interesting challenge, I guess. You can only sign drivers under 21, but they improve twice as fast. So, there's not a ton of under 21 drivers, so that's the thing. 3-star chassis is just out. This is still a tough choice for me, and basically, whichever one we don't do, and this I'll probably end up doing on the Twitch stream, just so there's a little bit of variability, or variety, I should say. But I don't know. You get like I think it's like 4 or 5 million to start with Golden Tiger, which is nice. But again, it's like 14 million, I think, compared to 10. Marketability, though, especially in a custom team with just shit everything, that's straight cash. And honestly, I think it's worth a little more than 4 million over the season if I had to guess. Pre-built test track is good because it allows you to start engine development right away, and that's like an $8 million building right there. So I don't know, this is tough. If we lose out the marketability, it's not like we're losing it completely. You know, I'm actually going to go with Golden Tiger here, 'cause more money to start with is nice, but mostly for the test track. Now, I like the extra team marketability, but basically that would put us at like 90% between the investment offer and the team principal, which is great, but I don't think... I mean, our drivers and everything else is going to pull it down so far that I don't know if it'll actually be worth it. Like, I don't know if we'd actually really get sponsors of that quality anyway. And by the time, 2 or 3 seasons in, we could start, attracting them anyway, we could easily have improved the rest of the team marketability through the drivers and car and whatnot to make up for that. And this basically gets us, it's not just 4 million, it's really basically an extra 12 million between the test track and the financial package. It does come with high pressure. Fuck it, we'll save that for Twitch. This is my original idea. I like the idea of the marketability. I like better sponsors. We're gonna go with them. We're just gonna do that. Alrighty. So let's take a look at what we've got here. I mean, we kind of know a little bit what we're starting with because we did a little bit of this already in the stream. We did like, what, 3 races, I think? But okay, so we've got, not terrible drivers, but terrible everything else. Our headquarters is only 8th best. Oh, no, actually, no, wait. No, I was going to say because we took the test track, but we actually didn't. We don't have the test track. So, alright, so we have 10 million to start. And then we're going to get more from the team, when we choose our season objective. So really we have like 20, I think. We will. Oh yeah, here it is. Targets first season. So, okay, we can get an extra like 14 million. Or actually, yeah. We're just going to go with 10th as our season target, because then we can't, not make it, because there's only 10 teams. Yep, we got all that. I know all this stuff. Okay. So now we've got like 24 million to spend. Before we do anything, let's take a look here. Yeah. So we used Domingo a little bit in the Twitch season or Twitch series, in some of the practice sessions because he's got slightly better feedback than Anthony, but it's literally 9 versus 8. And he cost us 55,000 a race, so that's 550,000 over the season. Or we can just fire his ass now for like half that. So, yeah, gone, done. Because you only cost us 1,000 per race. So that just saved us like 200 grand over the course of the season. And he's gonna send us an angry email. You want to stay at Racing Therapy and win things? Well, A, we're not going to be winning things anytime soon. B, you were a reserve driver and you were never going to be anything more than that, so suck it up. We are also going to go down to low budget for next year's car for right now so that we're only spending about $1 million per race. And that's before any sponsors. So yeah, even with our team marketability, see, Faith is actually the one who brings it down a lot. We might try and just get rid of her as quick as possible, actually, then. That's something to look into, because, alright, so, does it say it here anywhere? No, it doesn't show my stuff here anywhere. It doesn't matter. So the other benefit to the Motorsport Legend backstory is, number one, again, you get the... That doesn't show right down here, but you get an extra 50% of the team marketability, which is good. But you also get a benefit that anybody, any driver, any designer, any mechanic, they will always negotiate with you. So we're never going to get that not interested thing. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you can hire them or that they'll take, the contract or that you can afford them. But so if we go to like the top rated, let's go for the top rated designer here, which is Patty Locke. Now, we really can't afford him, but he is interested. We can approach him and try and hire him if we want. We're not going to, but it does mean that we might be able to get rid of Faith a little earlier, because again, we don't necessarily have to worry about only going for the shitty drivers. We can go, and we have a little bit of foreknowledge here too, so we can approach somebody like Sarah, who we know has fairly decent skills. Even without scouting her, we can already start negotiations. So I'm gonna have a little bit of a look around, and figure out, who we want to approach and who maybe we can go after. But we might see if we can get rid of Faith Anthony right before the first race, because then we can pick up even better sponsors, possibly. Ooh. I'm not looking around anymore. I found someone. This is actually one of the guys that you unlock by completing the challenges. So yeah, even if we take the minimums for all of his skills, he is much better. Much, much better. And he's unemployed. So we're just gonna go right in and start negotiations here. Holy shit, he wants a lot of money though. And we have no idea what he's after, because we didn't scout him. But let's just hire him. Oh, fuck it. I'll offer you the #1 slot, because if you accept, you're definitely our best driver. Start off with a short contract maybe, because then we can just renew it. Nah, I'll just offer him a long contract, because again, if he's willing to take it. Again, actually, we don't know what he's gonna want, so we'll just kind of run down the middle here. Offer you a nice race bonus for 5th or above, and a minimal signing bonus, because it's really expensive. But if we can get him and he's willing to, or if we can get him, he might actually start, doing really well for us, which would mean that we could probably make that money back by hitting sponsor objectives and race bonuses. So we'll see. I am curious though, and I'm not certain how this works. So under the Motorsport Legend backstory, all it says is like drivers and mechanics, people are always willing to negotiate. They will always negotiate. So I wonder if that means that basically we can't like exceed his patience or anything like that, because I don't know, because basically when you exceed their patience, they're insulted and they refuse to negotiate with you again. So I wonder if it changes that. I really don't know, but we're gonna just send this offer right away and try and replace Anthony if we can. Is there anybody else? It's like ridiculously good like that. Scott Price too, kinda. We're also gonna, I guess, approach Sarah, because we know that she's gonna be decent and she's a lot cheaper. Compared to, I don't know, we'll just offer her its equal status. Basically just gonna do the same thing actually, because we don't want to waste the time on scouting. I'm just gonna send kind of a middle of the road offer and see what she comes back at. Because why not? It doesn't cost us anything unless we actually sign the deal, so we'll send the offers out. Alright, I want to immediately, we're going to work on either the factory or the design center. I think the factory we're going to upgrade. Yeah, part development staff, and yeah, we're just going to, it's 8 million, but we're just going to drop that right away because it takes 20 weeks. And I want that as soon as possible. We're also going to, I'm debating whether or not I want to go for the forecasting center. How long does this take to build? 16 weeks. I'm debating going for the forecasting center just so we have a little bit better idea of weather patterns and stuff like that, but the scouting facility is a lot cheaper and only takes 12 weeks. But we may not actually need it yet. So, you know, I'm gonna hold off on the rest of this just for right now. I don't want to spend too much money. We do need to start making some new parts because all of ours are terrible. We have 16 days before the race. I can't get 2 done, but we can get an engine done. Three days before the race. You know what, let's look at improving our current parts first before we decide what to spend money on, because honestly, the reliability is actually okay. Not great, but we can actually, I think, just get better performance out of this. Yeah, we can get better performance out of these engines for the first race, I think. Because, I mean, designing a new engine would actually be higher performance, but it would have dog shit reliability and we wouldn't have time to improve it. So, if we do this, what do we need? Gearbox, engine, and we can't really improve the rear wing, but we can make it more reliable at least, but we don't really need to. Right, we only have 2 slots right now. Can we get these done before the race at all? No. Get a little bit of reliability into these. Actually, alright. If we're not going to be able to finish any parts, let's go for 69%, 68%. The 2 parts with the lowest reliability. It's not going to be finished or anything, but we get 0.9% per day. So we get like another 16 days, just round numbers, call that 15%, so like 7.5 to each of these maybe. So it'll put them each to like 75, 76%, so it's a little bit better. Just try and improve reliability as much as we can while still getting the maximum performance out of these engines. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Alright then, do we want to start designing new engines? Yeah, I think so. We're worst on grid at everything. But the average on grid is lowest for the engines. So yeah, let's go ahead and just start developing an engine. I'm gonna go for the max top speed instead of just regular top speed, because again, that gets us max of 37, and that's a max of 32. And we can always just improve the performance. So this will actually end up being a better engine. Starts at 40%, but we'll be able to start improving reliability on it between races. Part of it though is actually our designer. Well, we're not gonna be able to get a new designer hired before the first race, I don't think, but we can try. Really good at engines. This is who we had in the Twitch save. Really good at engines. Really good at rear wings, which we can't do anything with. Terrible at front wings, but doesn't matter because we can't do anything with. I think, actually, no. Good at brakes, and suspension kind of, gearbox is okay. Really good at designing engines though. These are just the unemployeds I'm looking at though, but who could we possibly... Can we just try and spend some money maybe and snag a really good one? Cost per... Oh, Jesus, these guys are so expensive. Right now we're spending like nothing, I think. Yeah, these guys only each cost us 1,000 per race. You know, honestly, I'm tempted. Let me just look at this really. Staff center is almost 6 million. I'm tempted to actually go for this instead of hiring anybody. Because our designer and race mechanics are terrible, but they are dirt cheap. And if we start getting better people, they're going to start costing us, a couple $100,000 per race each. So let's call it, 300,000. Call it, well, let's take a look. If we get a decent engineer or decent designer, maybe get one for like under 100,000 a race. And what about mechanics? Alright, so let's call it $250,000 per race between a designer and 2 race mechanics for a nice easy number to work with. That's okay, actually that'll only cost us $2.5 million over the course of the season. Whereas this would cost us almost 6. Actually, you know what, it might be better to just hire them. I think I might take that back. So maybe we don't need the, 100 or $500,000, 650,000 a race kind of people, but we've got a half a star right now, so anything is better. What can we get for 100 grand? Engines, gearbox, brakes, suspension. Oh, these are all good. Check you. Costs us a bunch to break his contract, but Ruby Smith has a lot of room for improvement. Really good at engines. Rear wings we can't do anything with. Brakes, she's terrible. And they're really not going to improve too much at our team for right now. Kind of everything we want except engines, which I really kind of need. I'm just good, kind of all around. Ah, 15 engine, 14 gearbox, 12 race and suspension. I like that too. And you are how much? Even cheaper. Alright. So, I love this. You can just negotiate with everybody. It's just fantastic. We don't have to scout these guys. So, alright. Medium contract. Beat your wages by a click. We'll offer you medium contracts. The bonus size is... I actually like seeing this. Bonus size is quite important. That's great, because I'll offer you a $90,000 bonus. Great, but we're probably not going to hit 5th, so I'm most likely not going to have to pay it. And a signing bonus of, yeah, up to $750,000. I'll give you 150. Start off with an even split, actually. See if we can save some money so I don't have to pay all of that. And just see what she says. And then we'll also approach this guy. Same thing. Wages are important, so we'll be what you're making already. Medium length contract, same thing. Even split, because I don't really want to pay all of that if I don't have to. Nice big bonus, and Another 150 grand to sign on. Go ahead. So we'll send those off. And then lastly, let's look at some mechanics here. Probably find somebody for like 50 grand or so. Yeah, let's stay around like the 50,000, 60,000 mark for these guys, if possible. Not so great during pit stops, but I like you for a performance engineer. I like you even better. Where are you? Oh, you can actually do reliability. And then performance, pit stops. You're an option. You're an option. There's a bunch of good mechanics. You're good with everything but pit stops, which is kind of where I want you as well. Abby Hamilton, I like that. Just going favorite a bunch of people here, so I have some options to look through. Not good at fixing parts, but hopefully we don't need that as much. Kind of a backup, but we'll keep an eye on you as well. I think that's good. So let's take, who do we really want here? Who do Abby was one I liked. I think Abby Hamilton, definitely. Yeah, we're just gonna kind of do the same thing same sort of deal we've been offering. Oh, we only kind of get one chance with you, actually. Oh, maybe. I'm really curious to see if we can still renegotiate after we piss them off, but somehow I think that probably won't be included, but I don't know. It says just they're always willing to negotiate, so. Ant was the other one I really wanted, I think, right? Well, if I do Abby, she can go reliability or performance. Try Scarlett as a performance engineer then. Uh-huh. Everybody wants me to pay for everything. 75's enough. Beat what you're making now. And I think Abby can go either way. Scarlett is a performance engineer, so let's find one other option as a reliability engineer as like a backup. I like Mary here, but it's just those pit stop things I don't love. Oh, that can be improved. Let's try it. Be what you're making, medium. Yeah, it's the same fucking deal. They all want the same deal. Okay. They all want the same deal. Let's send that out. We won't bother designing new parts then, I guess. So I'm gonna come back. Well, we're not gonna be using for the first race anyway, so I'm gonna hold off in case one of those designers accepts, because then we'll be able to design much better parts, and I don't want to waste the money. And if not, then it doesn't matter, because we're not gonna be able to use the new engines in the first race anyway, because they won't be done in time. So fine. I think we're pretty much set here. Last thing, let's just look at pit crew. Do we have anybody decent? Better mechanics, I think it is. Will get us the ability to hire better pit crews, so I don't think it's really worth, unless we have anybody that's like needs to be replaced and like cannot be on our team. I don't know if it's worth spending the money on just yet. They're all just terrible. You should be on refueling though. Just get the best team that we have with what we've got. I don't need more jack guys. 0 on tires, you gotta go. I mean, anybody better at tires is good, but none of them have really good secondary skills for either tire slots, so yeah, it's just not worth hiring and wasting the money on just yet. Alright, is there anything else we need to do before we start the calendar rolling here? Before we actually get underway? I don't think so. I'm not going to design parts. We're already improving what we have. We're working on this. I'm not going to do the staff center unless we don't get any, unless we can't hire anybody better, but I think we probably should be able to. Drivers, hopefully we can replace Faith Anthony with. She's not actually terrible. She did fairly well for us in the last save, but she's going to be expensive to break her contract. But we don't have to break her contract, actually. We can just demote her down to reserve. That's true. Forget how. Have to find a way to do it, but no, I don't want to renew your contract. If there's a way, we can demote you down to be a reserve driver. So we may not actually have to pay to get rid of her. But anyway. Looking for some new staff. I don't really need to bother with scouting, I don't think. Do we? We scout all the other drivers in our series, I guess. Actually, that may not be the worst idea in the world. Just go one team at a time and start scouting everybody. Why not? Oh, we can queue people. Oh, I didn't know you could do that. Oh, sweet. Oh, good. This is fantastic. I can just queue up the entire series, so I don't have to worry about it. And get those emails about, what do you call it? Scouting slots open. Or whatever. So, okay, good. Scout out the entire European Racing Series, and you know what? If you get finished with that, scout the free agents as well. Why not? Fuck it. Okay. So finances, we're doing okay. We're only going to be spending $1 million per race right now, which basically leaves us about $5 million to play with in terms of upgrading and new parts and things like that. And that's assuming we don't get any. That's before any sort of sponsors or anything like that. Okay. And I did this right, yeah. Low budget for next year's car. I don't have any sponsor offers yet or anything else to do. So, alright. That is us all set up and ready to go for the season, I think. Do I... I really don't want to bother designing new parts just yet. Because again, yeah, we're going to at least hear back from... Who are the designers I reached out to? Yeah. Abby, Scarlett, and Mary are the mechanics. These two are the designers. Nikhil and Anna. So yeah, we're gonna hear back from them soon enough anyway. So if we can't hire either one of those, then we might start, not an engine, but maybe we'll start developing. Okay, can you go away? Thank you. What was I gonna do? We might, if I can't hire any of them right away, we might start, not an engine, but maybe designing like the gearbox. We might. We still probably wouldn't be able to get them done in time for the race, but maybe we start working on some other parts just in the meantime. But if I can, I'd like to try and hire a better designer before we waste money on shit parts that we're gonna have to replace anyway. So that is us all set to go to start the season. So I'm just double checking. Yeah, there's nothing else I wanted to do. No. Oh, let me just double check. Make sure I have everything else here set up the way I need. So game setting, yeah, everything's on normal, medium, normal. Don't need tooltips, that's fine. And lastly, I just want to check the super speed stuff, because I don't need to slow down all the fucking time. Yeah, drive-thrus. Yeah, I'm okay with all that. Alright, so we're all set to go to start the season here. I'm going to take a break here and end the episode. This is basically just going to be episode 0, because again, it's all just a lot of talking and setting up the team and not really doing any action or anything. So this is going to be episode 0. The episodes themselves, I want to start actually with the race at the beginning, not do the race first and then all the stuff between that and the next event, rather than the other way around, you know, all this in-between stuff and then a race, so that way there's something to watch right away. So we're going to go ahead and call this episode 0. I'll upload it alongside episode 1 so that, you know, you'll actually be able to see the first race and watch it all together. But after that, we'll just be uploading one race at a time, I think, as an episode. So hopefully you guys are enjoying this. I'm really looking forward to a new season in Motorsport Manager. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next video. Be well, everyone.